I was seeing movie be aquaba. Na yem for Bremege TV and platform we eso. For the first time, Mati said, Mami Janet Nabla, PMP, Omo leader. Na this is the first time Mati said, Mami we any NDC aban ba so decision bi omo take oni omo a go side on the same side. Na mo beka ya nsin enche and it is a girl baako akwara baako a wonya admission na wokɔ SS na yitimi den waye no payment na ewi achi no na kyese wo se mra na kyese wo so twitwa na wei na education minister be catch him say there be obi a waye ne team bia no entimi nkɔ government school government SHS agi say bia private je obetimi akɔ no do no ni kasa bia ene Mami Janet Nabla aba montin so wa be react and utie nsemo kan na. In fact, this time around, this woman is making sense. Mo na di bia mo kasa Mami se bi on kasa ye ne odi se bi wa shame all of you. Yenti nsemo na Mami Janet Nabla editor edwa. Yakoba owia kwa miziga enso kan sembi efa ho. Eno nso ye de beto aso e dia mo mesro so document beto no like na wa share afofo nya bia hwe happy new week yakopon shiro bibia yenti nseni bia ko beto aso
my Kensby FM na TV me me supporti de Haruna Idrisu kaye no
okay
me nwanwa se sa time na sa asem we baye na NPP ne woso omo ntimi tenaf gina they could not firmly come out with a decision and a school no versus the parent me say omo court to kurampo ene de keka ho. It wasn't good in the eyes of the minister at that time. They say on can hwimfa ho nti Haruna Idrisu mami bona baso say wa ya dear papa this is what we are looking for. Ministers are almost nsuro adie say we this in me Obama buy or see we have to build strong institutions and I say no, I don't buy into that. Obama mo US mo bibia and everything is okay, so now you can build on your institutions. Ghana, we need to build on the human resource, not the institution. A strong personality usually is capable of doing the work more than the institution. Ukwa, there were nice and beautiful things in our constitution, so they are not executing them because we don't have we are bold enough to be able to tackle the issues. So in Africa, we don't need strong institutions. We need strong men and women who are bold and then fearless to be able to come up with ideas to help this country. And one of them, Haruna Idrisu, otimi sorry ya osi debi we die ye nyina ye ko SS mimi ko SS mi ko SS na mi twa miti na sisi ametima ye miti die mi pe bia ma wu debut nti so almost say bibia don't stand as if say we will buy more important than any other person. Me buy a Rastafarian and na oye religious Rasta Satam na Achimota de ne buy no. In fact, we spoke vehemently against it. Say Achimota mo mu nji akwala no. Ne mama ne papa mo mfa no nkɔ mo fie no mo nkɔ tete no ana mo nkɔ ma no homeschooling because me pesa me babeko baby a SHS a obehu say obi wo Rasta na one day obeka say opese on ye Rasta. To me, I don't have a problem with Rastafarians, but me pesa me mbeye Rastafarian. Inti se wo Rasta, now we are Rasta. At this particular time, nkolan mo ye 11 years, 12 years, 13, 14. They are very vulnerable. They cannot be able to think for themselves. Or tertiary institution at that time, the brain is well developed. So obeka say meye way, minye way. Inti school no mo si obi antwen omuti na wunkwa wo ba. Only one person among millions. We see there be woman in Trinity now. See saying so the minister a affirmative statement now obey is clearing everything up, and I think that parents are almost sorry na debia me them in person me banko unity na blah 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 say the enter. What's the problem? That's what the rules are saying. Say our country, there are no rules and regulations governing it. Ube wo fear no be obia ba be bu wo fear ho no be intimin country. Inti rules and you biane omo ye kronformo, they want luxury to go and steal. But rule they say don't do it. So anything they are hiding to do it. So why are we having rules and regulations? Are almost the rules to who now we see there be media. I don't like it. I want my child to be doing the hair. So I think that I side with the Minister for Education on the stance to say obia unity. So wo pese wo ba wo pese wo ba unity yeah what private schools are wo ba unity they don't care. Why don't you send your child to a private school? Okay, because Anka obeka bibi.
Meka bibi. So you bet me yi me ba no akọ a private school. Private school took the child. Our bonity no. But akwala no e pass e go through ye bibia, nothing happened. That same child is coming to a government institution and you saying it's their own trinity. That same government institution respects religion to the extent that Muslim for any SHS. I know that we have Muslims having their own, associations more. Even sorry, cry your Gamsa, your Penta, ne one for a school, school, religious unions and all that. My point is there any data that has proven to all of us that Akwalano Bonitia, the rate of a school dropout and not failing in exams or not developing the character is this huge? Is there any data to prove that?
And yes, you be bonitia maybe or academically when you're good and now or bonitia or you distract. And yes, I okay. Yes, rule is it's a rule. It is a rule. Everyone with the rules and regulations. One of the rules in Ghana is saying that. So we call SHS, even from basic to SHS, bring your head down. Now we call tertiary, it is a rule. It doesn't matter, say, it is a rule. It is a constitution, Omuka say, we pese wumbe dani MPR. This a 1 year, how many years? 21 years. Is there any rule saying that if somebody is less than 21 years, the person cannot be able to be an MP? Maybe so. See, there's no rule. Or be a less than 21 years. Or bet my baby, you will be more 19 years, 18 years, or more very intelligent or kasakurampo maturity. But Constitution is 21.
Yes, because it comes with a reason that 21 years we know say around that time we are matured, it comes with
no scientific evidence in what you are saying.
Okay, to say also be the president, we are presidential candidate.
Say we be done 40 years
sound mind, blah blah blah. These are reasons in our age,
And let me see, what were
the reasons that they gave?
Nah, there is no any scientific proof say will be a 40 years or sound mind, and I'll be a 21 years or sound mind. We shall or you mature. There is no any scientific and empirical evidence to those words. So we can say na you see obi trinity onusu or ye very destructive because we sorry na obeye wuti we sorry wuti Jesus obi mbotiri no we school when obeba wuti amount because we boy etia maybe for 2 weeks and not 3 weeks as I say won't call you washing no one sound no being decent. This is the distraction. But what you would hear, wait my diary, I go with so now we call baby. And you see a lot of distraction. Now we walk boa new ones, woman me will sika. Maybe obi beba school, I'm an abuama, obi dia wonisika into a show with no, not because of you, won't tra a bad distraction to another person. Into a nunti, Ghana education services, see obi amboniti. And the truth in say
obi
unity. Nti obi woni tu no na wo kwala we pese won bonity to reasons best known to you mpacho for banako private najaye. That's the rule. And I was won pese won wa Ghana ha obi amfre wo betima to kwan akobebi like US, UK or mo betima bouti ba won Ghana ha no mu minister no na Ghana education service ami do mo papa see from basic to secondary education you would see won't mean you would hear for Obana cause another country no onko in school it's not like it's force obi am force who Ghana say follow our educational system. We should not be wasting time talking about this issue. Time now Haruna Idrisu Okan say no. Me de papa. Onusu kan about languages.
Yeah, mother tongue can be
your mother Yemfansiasie. When him say Ghana Education Service rules and regulations stated that long time ago, that was 1990. Almost see time almost and 1990, like it started long time ago. Say akwala ko school from class kindergarten up to class 3. Ma omunka bro from man akwala no omun chire no wo ne hometown dialect kasasu. But the teachers are not doing it. You are not supposed to speak English to someone who is in KG. In the Ghana Education Service rules and regulations, you are supposed to speak your mother's tongue. It's a say one kasa wukasa. Wuntiti omwa or class 3. We are not class 4. Now with the English in Adiaba. Na me ye people teaching our ye room. Ena ye wo PTA meeting. Ena papa be sorry ye. Osi e ba ne say na mumu nkola no muntimi nka brofo. Ena we mu ba ye private school o mu be bie ye nkola no kwa brofo. Ena ye nyina ye wo kwa headmaster ne sorry ye. Osi Ghana Education Service rules and regulations ne say akola bia o school ha e say yemfa mampuruli language no titino from KG up to class 3. Into odu class 3 no ko class 4 na sisi ade ye best English. Ena papa no sa sorry ye. Osi dua eye mre. We beti ma like you can be able to wunye ye wu twen ma sa. Ena sisi a wo pese wo mfa brofo bra. Enu nti na ye nkola mutimi nka brofo ena de keka ho. But one of the things I me pese me mfa nka kire Haruna Idrisu ne say the truth is that religion is destroying northern region. Religion are destroy the people of the north. Wo be hu obi unim Mustafa Hamid.
Yes,
Mustafa Hamid. Sa we northern name wahifa. Idrisu Haruna awahifa. These are not northern names. These are Islamic names. No,
so what's the difference?
So the difference is that they don't even like their identity is no more. The two of them. Who are they? For instance, who buy ye kroma? Almost see like Nabla family. Who be who say will be pointed to me. Mi bamu omu ye na sigri family for onbe ka say we mu ye na sigri family. So the whole family be na sigri family. Wukwa baby anantoma omu family niye. But senior omu sorry omu jai omu dimu afa Islamic names. Who say omu ye Christopher krampo omu ye chain Islamic religion because Christopher no for instance me omu mami Janet.
Yes.
Who say omu dinabla too so.
Yes.
But we a Muslim dey omu be you both will say name ne will be bia na mama she say within the Haruna na okwa waria akwala okowu akwala on fam ntu papa di o di betu wan kasa wa wudi. So time beba no like you not be valued anymore because we call am use wudi.
So
that's what they are doing.
So the Islamic names are more or less like Christian names that we want to have, like
Islamic
Janet,
names.
That's all it means.
Even people who are Christians are better because the first name will be a Christian name.
Yeah.
I've never seen any Christian name over a krum. Nediye Anthony Joseph Debi ebe Anthony Bakutoma Anthony Nantoma Anthony Nasigri, some things like that. But it could not be just Anthony sometimes. But obi a Muslimin ube who say wakoko fa the whole this thing. So one of the things our PMP government you will have to have an identity. If not that, you cannot get employment. Your employment will be terminated.
I know you.
Because do you know say because of that, a lot of our neighboring countries, they are those who are holding the jobs. They come here, go to school, take over the jobs of Ghanaians because of the Islamic names. No one knows that. When you see them, you think they are Northerners. They are not Northerners. Because they know that when they come with the Northerners are using the same names and they are also using the same names.
So a Nigerian is called Haruna.
It is
the almost from Haruna.
Haruna is
who is a Nigerian.
And Mustafa Hamid. Almost say like who are they? In the north, who are they? We don't know them. Because the identity is vanished. And they are now using a foreign name. You are not from Saudi Arabia, but you are using a Saudi Arabian name.
Okay.
Do you think a Saudi Arabian will come to a Nalergu and come to Tamale to come and use our names? Why are you killing our identity? So those who have destroyed our tradition has to do with people who uses Islamic names throughout and won't even use their identity. Because of them, northern region, we are now having a problem. And I think that Harun Idrisu and even Bagumia and Co. But you see, Bagumia, he is using Mahamudu Bagumia. So the Bagumia is the surname. It saves. But a lot of the people, they don't use surnames. They just use Islamic names and they have lost their identity. And we want Haruna Idrisu to come home. Haruna Idrisu is not a northern name. Mustafa Hamid is not a northern name. Who are they? Which community are they coming from? Which tradition are they from? We don't know who they are because we are not members of the Saudi Arabian group. So who are they?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it. All right, Janet Asana Nabla. So Nabla, it's your family name, like
that is Nabla. Nabla is when you give birth to twins in our hometown. The next terrier is called Nabla. So our family, we are the Nabla Edison family. We have Nasigri and other things, but you see, majority of the people that we see on television centers, they don't have identity. We don't know who they are, where they are coming from. We just don't know them.
So Asana is a twin, like
I'm a twin.
You're a twin.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Janet. Okay, my member here, Godfred, so now fi yending komo sesia Godfred yending komo na fi share what truly Ora Haruna Idrisu ade atujano yebetimi ayehu bibia and will not tolerate long hair today or tomorrow in our SHS and then mother thank let's look at it. I mean, let's see what we can make Ghanaians do.
Okay. Mini already mema watching na mamifa kwenye isunsu nchia mi ame bosses lawyer Kwesi Kwatim Frimpong and the soon to be lawyer George Sapong na minchia Ghana men nyina especially TFO mutie ya no pay. So on the issue of long hair our senior high school systems me as an individual, as a matter of personal belief and principle there, Mrs. say especially at that senior high school level, no, personally, me of 4 sisters. I have so many cousins on my ma, and I personally believe so. Because you see, beyond the distractions, there are so many reasons. Young especially at the senior high school level. But there's a couple of things I'm a person may clarify on. And one thing I say most people are defending say Mumbo Muti is on the issue of the contention between private and public schools. Unse in economics, near be public good and near be private good. Now, Oshe senior high school level system na even at the time when free SHSM no education was still a public good because now government has subsidized it. But what I say, it will share a private free senior high school no crana acquire fully a public good. But if I be able to say a private system, it is totally different from the public system. And the reason me make this example is because in the event or a public good, it means the access is small. It means all people from all walks of life can have access to these systems. It is the reason Okoye senior high schools especially you have people from all walks of life. In the end, because of free senior high school. So Oko senior high schools you were the rich, you were the poor, you were the middle class, you were everyone within one institution. But Oko baby to say private school, you purely private good now. Now your ability to pay. Into those schools now, the sort of students are now what is international about parents who can pay. Into baby to say, mra say obi out me bonity affect much. But baby to say senior high schools acquire more of a public good. So mra say, obi out me bonity and bibia. That is when the sort of competition and distractions come in the sense at that age, some of these children are now forming up. And say your baby a friend in the rebellious age. Omudu those teen ages now. They want to explore so much, do so much. Intina nkolani bo ho krampa, especially at the university level. So bo okra sika bi kwa no nya sugar daddy bi kwa kwa den, kwa kodi nechi. At the point akola bi ni nua bi oti school ba akumu. This year because of free senior high school, ko St. Louis, Okwa Wesley girls, the rich are there, the poor are there. It is a rich ne bo muti. Ya ye nua mba in so motie. Almost every 1 week, 2 weeks be a person with a new style. how would that set a good precedence for the other students? But you say I think in your quest to solve a problem, or in your quest to fight for rights, you end up creating more problems than you actually anticipate. Because of free senior high school. I'm saying this year, provisions no dey kono gari sugar pill. Yemu akola niti. Akola no kwatena classroom na fefo abo muti no so obo niti bi. No, let's face the realities. Na yamakro mo JHS ne ade. No who say na dan for crash mpobo afofra. At least onyanka ne papa nso be den ebeto bi ama no. Won say akola we nkwatena school mu. Na fefo obo muti o Wesley girls. Na fefo obo muti o Holy Child. Every 1 week akola we be frefie. Look at the sort of pressure in the long run. You have two parents, so the few who can afford this continuous, let me say in quotes and unquote, lavish living, will be at the expense of the many. It's a private school. No, and I'm explaining the difference between the public good and the private good. So by the time that means I'm well to do. But then I don't need to be rich for my child or my sister or my sibling to go to Holy Child, Wesley Girls, St. Louis. It's a ceremony who that clear distinction. And then again, what is the essence of education? Education, yet say, who kwa classroom akosi idea keke. And I think go ye do be a paper man say ye dey ope. Ye will reason into ye catch say bra school time way. Sometimes crampo no school no crowd be ye say bra 6 no. And you say 6 na additional be charge you. Additional charge be 8. But then at your time ye say bra 6. Even though additional be 38, but do school maybe at 6:30 kwa ye be ma roku ani abo. Ye try punctuality. It is sometimes you know careful how we attack things. But you see, let me clarify something important. There are Safarian issue, no. The reason under the NPP, we because the Minister of Education and to find the NDC for me, to find the NDC for more. The reality is near any legal basis, and this explains it. I've read the GES Code of Conduct for pre-tertiary level. You need any law in GES laws now. Can't say keep long hair or short hair. Now let me read it. I say, students shall not wear chains, bangles, caps, braces. Wearing of spectacles shall be with medical prescription. And it further states, students should have a decent haircut as prescribed by the school authorities. Hair should be clean, neat and modest, and avoid extremes in styles and color. Okay, bro,
avoid extreme.
I say avoid extremes in styles and color. So, without extremes.
So that was what I was coming to.
What kind of extremities of law?
Yes.
It depends on how you explain it. But like I say, extremities means obi our dignity.
So that was what I was going to say. But then yeah, extreme mame.
It's all be a content. You know, like I say, no, I just want to clarify something. Say, and the person here for TRC. And my name to say, under the previous administration, the doctor was saying, Doctor Machopoku Prempemo, no mutim for money. I just want to clear something in the air.
Okay.
Said there is no legal basis because Ebini would hear okay. Mimi extreme when they say, oh, to me, no, me when they say, oh, in Sakura,
yes.
Obi when they say, oh, we send a crazy and Yahweh. Obi when they say, we send a tinty and everybody. Obi when they say, what's a crab bonnet?
Yes.
You realize that there is no common ground that Ebedina Aka say, this is the law and this is not the law.
So this thing becomes ethics and not law.
So then,
these are not rules and regulations.
So that's what I'm explaining. See, the current system in Ghana, no, it is not an issue of constitutionality. It's an issue of societal norms.
So these are ethics. I mean, you choose to.
But ethics can be argued on.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's a maker say. It means say the minister's pronunciation, you know. Honestly, see, a person here entrenched that you need to go beyond the pronunciation.
Exactly.
But that shouldn't also mean say any see you discredit you be say went to find NDC form.
Yeah, I get you.
Because the person didn't have legal basis. Internal Rastafarian and the court now he could win. Because legally GS doesn't even have that law. I'll bet you say keep this size and keep this size. It means beyond Honorable Haruna Idrisu pronouncements, you know. If we really want to make it entrenched, we have to start making laws. Entrenched, and we also have to make the law more clarified because the current GS policy doesn't say that. I say as prescribed by the school. I had friends from St. Peter's. I know me say, oh, St. Peter's here. So it's region as well. Only problem. The Indian say it is neat. But in my school, me so me house master be tell say me level way na me so me hearing.
Me pay.
Until you realize the law
Any
uniform, the disparities are so much. Until as a country, no, until say benya that level ground, we cannot solve these issues. Until I believe say now more than ever, no, or see a looking beyond me when it comes to issues of education. Personally, I look beyond the partisanship. If collectively and I generally, yes, to say, oh, your man no more senior high school ni enyi omutia. I believe that there are so many ways a bit your my way are entrenched. Referendums near the thing or my muna jiatum. Ya sem marano. But even beyond the marano, there were exceptions. You see, public school, even public senior high school, there are not. It's not even about Indians or Lebanese. There were Ghanaians or Mabu, you see.
Yeah.
Because biologically or health wise, they can't. I think those exceptions are there. Intina Nazigi can be about dermatology near those exceptions are there. I think for those ones you can't argue the exception. Like I said, the exception is not the rule. Into the Rastafarian issue, you know. You realize that Achimota of one who lost the case because on the basis of religion in India you will lose. But if they had at least accepted the exception, say oh maybe Seben have any because I think Nani Papa advance an argument along that line.
Yes.
Say health wise, a bit me affecting the panel. Personally, I don't see a problem with it, but I don't also subscribe to the fact say you're managing the norm. It's the Honorable Minister of Education. You say Kesbin TV and Kesbin FMD FD Kesie. Yes, Sereno. Beyond the pronouncement, you know, let's look at the law. Let's look at the GS policy because I want to care. Believe you me, they see last year and the Besamba app or Bibe TTS on and they win against the law.
Because again, Godfrey, that's not cannot. It brings me to a whole scenario again. Now, this one, if care is not taken, becomes more or less like a moral principle that we put in it, and policies are not really laws in itself.
Yes,
it's just to guide us to do the right thing.
Exactly.
But is it not the same GS that controls the private schools?
Yes, the same GS controls the private schools.
Okay, so why are we then positioning in a sense that, okay, if the government schools, we are going to go with this. Private schools, which still gets permit registration and everything from the same government, their people can, or students or kids can have their hair done, like the Montessori's. I mean, my child can do Montessori from day one till the time we in the SS. There, it is free for them to do anything they want to do with their hair. Exactly. But GES is the one that is really mandating that Montessori's can work.
Sure.
So why can't we then do it a uniform one, like you're really proposing that Emrani Emra? This is the Emra for all schools.
Exactly.
But when it's also then somebody will ask. Then foreigners no more banners on then because some teacher education is doing come some with natural hair no. As long as long Lebanese near tintin to about school now then be on a bit me.
Exactly. Inti onze na make be say the reason grandpa now no private schools no man kasa to me among own hair code and say under the current policy no GSA students should have a haircut as prescribed by the school authorities. It means that they all can but until we go back to this to say that until GS about amending the policy naka say oh students must keep a low haircut or students must keep a hair maybe 5 centimeters long or 10 centimeters long. It means that the private schools are still at liberty. But I think say Ghanaians as a matter of sometimes I will say you elevated the discourse a bit. I feel it is unfair when people use foreigners as an excuse. From 2017 coming, we've had about 3.5 million students and counting going through our senior high school system. That is just free SHS. The question was say Lebanese do was saying the womb. Chinese do was saying the womb. I can state on authority. You go across Ghana today, senior high schools won't get maybe even up to 100 foreigners. We can't use them as a benchmark. But also we can't use them as a benchmark because and I'm making something about exceptions because currently because of health issues since doctor say money unity public schools maybe go for a penny senior high school or book medical report no bonity but I don't know school no science regulating my own who say maybe our stars be around to me then want to me more a simple con robe near the bet me abo. So I believe say we see more clarity concerning the law. But we can't use foreigners as a basis because like I said the exceptions cannot be the rule. The exceptions are exceptions.
Okay.
All
right. Madam Asana is my mom because my mom is also called Asana and a twin too. She's really spoken well. Even our president don't have a northern native name. And this one says because private schools is doing business, they will not do this. But for public schools, it's mandatory for government groom. Okay, that's what he wants to say. The children, so the disciplinary measures should be strict. This is from Aaron Ofusuhene Takrade on Sunday or the Ebayan. And this one says, good morning, boss. Please, I am BB from Sekwa. Please, cutting of hair at the SHS is not needed. Even pregnancy that makes the ladies weak and hinder their learning is accepted. Even GHS. So what has cutting of hair got to do with learning? On also there or they ever and no. This one says that in cases where a teacher is an Inzima posted to Kumasi, a cosmopolitan city, teaching in class of about 5 different ethnicity without specific textbooks. How is the teacher going to teach these multi-ethnic groupings in and in what specific language? Wiseman Mankesim and the Dene Dearby. But that's a good one that he's asking, sir, a bit to me, Abbaswana. My name is Peter. He's watching you from Enchi. Okay, Peter Medasi bro. Say, good morning, sir. Please, what's about the children of foreign nationals who are in basic schools with long hairs? I know na Godfred na odi hunkomo sisiano and also Nedian. And this one says 2 p.m. Asante Mampo say it seems people are behaving like we have not seen what is happening today before. It's the first time Education Minister issues stern warning to pre-tertiary. The law should work. Simple. Greetings to Honorable Joseph Amankwa, aka Ejumara MCE, Kwabre East, Mampontain, and Nidia or the Ebaye. And this one says that good morning, sir. I'm a native of Adan, in the greater Accra region. I had all my education in Adan and speaks English, Gan, and Dangbe. As a trained teacher, posted to Zabzugu Tatale in Basic 2. Please, what language do I speak? To my learners, the minister should come back on also there or the Ebayan. So there's a whole lot of argument on this one that like Godfrey said, if we should do politics, we should do with politics with this one and deal with nationally. How we're going to solve this problem. What it tells me is clearly the education sector, no, you have more issues than any other thing. You first say no petty, but a very, very big issue. And I think we need to look at it. For instance, if a teacher is telling me, say, what's not done all his time, was she idea or can't English or can't dan or can't dangbe. Now, if you push in the call a Zabzugu Tatale. Now, we say basic 1 and 2 ni na on che omu local tree na non functional media. On one case munano or your problem. It's then Otimi Etre. Ever had you ba. It took us now, Shankana.
When you have been put that.
Into then, I was saying,
a Trini
Brofu. Into school,
because school quote,
a Eliana Diana.
Me called Ellie.
Oh, Eviana no Paddy Nibiana. Pepe. It's a class 1 and class 2 Namusia day.
A Trini
Brofu na. And to move school and don't speak vernacular. No, who come vernacular betru. They are bow. It's your one as own come vernacular.
No, Sadan me no pa me kwa.
Okay.
We also so an but very 1 week in secret.
All right, boss.
Yes.
Haruna Idrisu.
Yeah.
Honorable Haruna Idrisu. My main cousin was see before 2008. So, na Oko Ghana National Fire Service. No more review. Your federal regulation 33 clause 6.
Okay.
Sa regulation 33 clause 6 HSA 33 clause 6 HSA. So your banner join National Fire Service. O first 3 years no. Untimenyam. Tin you untimenyam o first 3 years untimenyam. Enti Fire Service for new phobia ni afa. Omo ye miensa omo kwanyam abra no munya 3 years. And Ghana National Fire Service for you omadi. You omadi no omo de court. And a court reinstate omo and a compensate omo 50,000 Ghana cedis. Just ma make you. Now court ruling no judge now otena asem no so. we say Ghana ye mra na kire se ubetimi aye sex ntie yo age a oduru abetimi aye sex 16 years and na age per our with the criminal code no 16 years but okay your children's act no so see age abetimi aware 18 years eti and man mienu na so mo bru 16 omo miensa no omo bru 16 and 18 years eti obi a obru 16 and 18 years no omo ye obi a obetimi aye sex tini you and obi a oye sex bia no potentially obetimi ahe and I want to mean shady pano say because of National Fire Service now abent no seven producer on to me sepeno on to me sex naturally we are sex and so pregnancy betimi aba eti judge no the wisdom no what judge adeno with the natural point of view on the year that ruling and ordinary state say man tell you ok achimota asem we say ye kan say that ye beba abrantie no man de rasta ekwa achimota no we set a bad precedent. The Ministry of Education at that time did not help us. We set a bad precedent at that time because listen, make you bet me you see the natural point of view to say the judge in a kind because usha a trichologist any dermatologist or a shady patron research be about on tibia me etiase obi a we bibini bia no naturally so uja utigusu no anu automatically you be dread dreadlocks. So we can do that in a natural point of view. But you cite religion. Say, a branch in your religion. Religiously in the religion, they catch and say, as I say, we journey to the rasta. Near the religion, they defend near the manako, Atimota, a Brian yan shabibia. But today, Obi subet me a quatimota, Beko disco, Beko and Fatspim. Okono catch and say, my religion see. Emma to tell me how do we do with this? So I'm happy that Haruna Idrusu has come out to clear this mess. We should not tolerate that. The American watcher say, when I took my son to school, I started from Addis College. That's what I wanted my son to go and finish it. When I took my son to school, you know about the Mayan agreement about the Mayan. Apart from your manners, we say. Utini trying to down cut. The American watcher say, so it's a good idea. And Quran starts as through free ho. And you question school no so. Me initially on, not me told that, but Mr. David Ofore Champo kill us no once and for all. Obi a ye dreadlock person. Nipa no betimi akase me wie school a me pese me call police, me say me call military. Me pese me call immigration and also whatever any security services. But daddy parokwa, you be asked to shave your beard and cut your hair off. Mebwa, I didn't school you to me. So, you good. And say how do you do honorable didn't see from na you discourages adian. Me that video no cry now na. Small girl no ya santua girls need to tell you to ni asa style the high ayi styling gel aside ni trim near no. To chadi na to go no mu ade. And you kwaso the teacher na what na ade na ye pe. I'm telling you. As I see a shovel in an from no who level. Sabi ko school mi ko sua de. Sadie ni na ka hu bi. E ya de kire. Teacher need the hairstyle. Hi ayi gel ayi styling gel ayi ni trim akeka to also do dia. Obeda no abu. I dug my heart for Haruna Idrusu. Ono wan nantin ko school should be no monitor. Nya sad. Okay. That is one. Last one.
Okay.
People with disability. President Kufuor came to pass Disability Act, which was good. So we how we see that, and so making sure so the elevator, baby, especially the one, yenye baby a dipa befa, ye be people with disability befa, ye timi discriminate you omo, adwuma o compare adwuma ne ade, e bi wo discriminatory law, e bi wo Sweden, Canada, Scandinavian countries, Germany money ade, and President Kufuor share ya. They passed the Disability Act in 2006. Now, Nana Dan Kwaku came
and appointed a man called Joshua Makubu as a regional minister. Janet Nabla kwetwa amputi ewo Oti region. What is fantastic. President Mahama in the first term appointed Dr. Seydou Dana as also visually impaired as a minister for chieftaincy and religious affairs. That was good. But this thing that President Mahama has done, it will go down to books. It will cover a lot of people. And I think that a good policy. Yedina yusum. At the country where the first time I ever then say, Dr. Baumi also promised to give the same care to them. Jamaica Water said, "It's an America say, Busa branch and say, Sana Diana or Hodada, and then Dr. Baumia promises or Bobby. Oh, the bitchy. Dr. Baumia also promises. And nothing is not a BBN one ma a descent. Say what promise, manifesto promise. Oh, promising now we are at the end of your first year. It is good that we are going to have people with disability Ebeko school for free of charge.
Okay.
But boss, let's watch this. Oramu akwata na yesi empeneche no. Media no na make bi. But you see, enye omo ye edi dem ni na betimi akọ school. You obi o ha o street. You obi o ho no mo a o hye ne baby. As I said, we create a mechanism to cover all these people. Because adie bia ne enyan tiedi o. Oramu akwata dan sore prekope. We did some previous a sim. Or sorry, also a child roto. I dear many park got the fear man people lose election. Be a talk of one in Katiawo, roto dabre jashan in the university. What man got the fee? Nipane roto 80% of them. Nana to Dan Koku for the essay. Or money people with disabilities. Or now by Betnefi. Messia President Mahama say roto no mobile automated according to Kwame Baja. They will still need human resource. So automated in failure, then we resort to the human yes, some fasa people with disability. Yes, for mumbra. The toss will be a mere. So what's the deal? The sit down jobs as a see a man yamra. Ya amedi disability loan. Not sit down job like tallest facilities yajiska. Boss, tallest facilities yajiska. Say would dia say ya bind dia nya bind dia say BOT no watching assembly say assembly dia so mind dia as a set people with disability na tena ho kodwo ba wo betra keteketi should not be allowed to sit on your friend say sit bi so wojete e comfort toilet sika na fe yen hwe obu security mutawu se nkofo e group ayarefo omanyafra ni odo makokogu kwa ho ne etonyom. Haven't you seen that?
Yeah, I see.
Near the collection. The best wrestler, President Mahama, created some mechanism. You open the name from through Chrome, and you're dangerous because you're some cophobia school. Cophobia man, your opportunity, uncle school need to protect them. Mahama care about Mahama care no can documents now, but there is a stick. What can and you brought Nippon APS come here, dear Guma, ya de question for your deadly diseases. Will be a one ya bian. Ayare ni awaye nyade me afa no kojina second asafo market wo Kumasi end diska asofo bia wo msesa sankura no edu omu koja jina ho no koji disika for free of charge.
Okay.
Dem bia omu ya happy for fun. Mahama ke abamu for mu hospital. Ya be no operation for free of charge.
Okay. All right. But I say Ziga and your 10 in Kano 53 minutes past the hour of 8. And Ziga's take was brought to you by Doc Activated Chaco. Doc Activated Chaco. Now Doc oh, okay.
Not all right. Now, Madam Timmy, Doc Activated Chaco pardon. Obia abotafno pa. Obia osa woso etete wo. Awoso osa hu do ni na no.
So this time around here, Mami Janet Nabla, I think say wakasa ye, and I think say the be need ho, and I obetna TV, radio so I na o kan nsem no. Which means they need a hopa unim the oil. In fact, unim the oil then oil and they need a home. They need a whole year. Mami Janet Nabla any a then at a home. Mami so menka kakra emfa saa de we ehun. You see, ye yankura ye nyini no. Uko school a me nya hu bi kra no. Utifu sɛdeɛ nka metie afu yi na ukɔ no mu yɛ inspection a teacher ni timi de scissors etu tinim ɔsan line bi sɛ bɛyɛ a ukɔ a sɛ wofa mirror ahwehwɛ na sɛ wohwɛ w'anim a untimi ɛma line ne nda hɔ no wobɛkɔ na wakɔ akɔyi ne kama. Na one thing ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ ɛnɛ because of ɛyɛ suahunu nti no ami sɛ yɛyira yɛ culture no. Yes, yɛyira yɛ culture no. Yes, yɛyira yɛ culture no. First no, obi bɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛ maame no in the ancient days no na ɔmo de afro ɛna ɛkɔ school. True or false? Me ka deɛ besi asɛm so. And me wahu nneɛma bi no me wate nneɛma bi so ase on this same issue. First, yɛ maame no in the ancient days ne late 80s ne late 90s no. Late 80s ne early 90s no. Mami nka ne saa. Na yɛ maame no mo kɔ school nyinaa ɔmo ɛde afro. Yɛka afro a yɛ papa no de afro tifuyɛ ɛna na ɔmo de kɔ. Enti na saa aboa we yɛ fɛ dwe ɛmoa white bi bo nse na me nya hu bi da me nyine yɛ de me nya hu bi da because ɛnɛ saa aboa na ɛkɔ. Ɔmo pɛn so ɛna na saa aboa no ɛwɔ because na ɔmo tena baabi a hɔ no mafu especially utiwi nso utiwi so fu na sɛ wanya adagye edware no wanya adagye ndwimu yi a obehu sɛ even ɛnɛ kura na adwe ni hɔ no utifu na sɛ wandware mu yi na sɛ ɔkɔ barber shop saloon a obehu sɛ ɔmo bɛyi uti na uti asɛ mfita wate na mekyɛ na so. Yes, enti for that matter no na saa ade a yɛfɛ ne dwe no ɛwɔ mo tiri mu papaapa. But yɛ maame no mo bɔ ɔmo anim anibie sɛbi anibie ɛba no ɛna ɔmo hu sɛ dabi saa tifu yɛ egya yɛde kɔ school na ɛmboa. Enti obroni ɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔmo ɔbɛdi educate ɔmo sɛ dabi ɛyɛ personal hygiene. Me mo education ti ne yɛ. Ɛyɛ personal hygiene sɛ wobɛyi wo ti na wo ho ayɛ fɛ kama na sɛbi uti ase ada hɔ ne mframa afɔ uti ase na ɛmmoa bia ntimi nyɛ den ɛmmoa tiri ase. Enti obroni ɛbaayɛ no ɛna ɔkyerɛ mo sɛ mewɔ adeɛ bi te sɛ yiwane na ɛnyɛ blade o na ɛyɛ yiwane no ɛyɛ very sharp metal. Enti no na ɔka kyerɛ mo sɛ wodi yi uti na obehu sɛ bɛma uti ase nyinaa da hɔ na tete ne yɛ ni style o ne ɔmo wa na ɛyɛ afro anaasɛ yɛtwa ɔdan cut yɛtwa no sweat anaa hɔdɔhɔdɔ no na ɔde nam hɔ no. Enti broni ni mo ɔmo ɛyɛ aware sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo ɛyi tire no sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɔmo ti ase bɛda hɔ nom na ɔmo atimi di aduro afam sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a dwe na atena ɔmo ti ase no ɛbɛboa. Abusua, enti yɛ maame no ne yɛ papa no hu sɛ ampa sɛ yɛyi yɛti ase bɛda hɔ nom mframa bɛfa yɛti ase afei nso mmoa bi ɛmba yɛti ase nti no for that matter no ma yɛ maintain ne yɛnyɛ ne sei a. Enti akwadaa biara so sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛvo foforɔ na sɛ woduru bere a wokɔ school a sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a dwe mma otirim nti no yɛmma wo ti ne mfo. Yɛbɛbɔ mmɔden ase yɛbɛyi wo ti na ma wo na wayɛ den wakɔ. Edidim ɛna ɛbɛyɛ yɛ culture ɛna ɛbɛyɛ yɛ amammerɛ sɛ akwadaa yi kɔ school a sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɔmfa sɛ bidwe ɛntena ne ti ase na sɛ bebusi benya do mmoa bi ntena ne ti ase na n'anim mframa bɛfa ne ti ase na ne ho ayɛ fɛ nti no ɔma yɛnyɛ den yɛnyi ti ne nyinaa ngu fam. Afu bi a yɛnyi ɛno ɛna ɛnɛ yɛwuo mu a abɛduru saa mpɛmpɛnsoɔ yi. Na saa tiri na yɛabɔ ne yɛyɛ sei no anyɛ tete culture na ɔmo di ba o na mmom ɛyɛ obi man so That is the Western culture and omo person mo de ba Ghana. That is the Western culture. Obi mai so. Into ti Ghana ha. Na akwada na anu mihu nkwada bibie eyifo JHS fo mo kwa SSE. Mehwe obi na watwa ne tie yi ne style kama efe. Watwa atma akofom efe. Na ne ndi a wodi a wo se me miti na instead of say metwa miti no. There be mintwa be the payment ne maso achichiri na egu machi. Eba sana. You are what? Portraying a Western culture. You are not what? Patronizing before ye dear. Because okwa abrofun kuruma omuno mutino say the tintino sana che omunyi eno ani segusun de bi ono mu eyo. That is their culture. Let's take it in that way. That is what their culture. But when you come to Ghana, you come to Africa, you must shave. You must shave. It is a must. This is not about saying for being court and say who say the right and then the right. No. You must obey the rules and regulations. And the haruna do so. In the other way, no, menene ya adwene. Meneno eya adwene ba bia menene nya adwene say o see obekọ private school say na ezibia no mo ka ho asem ni obekọ private school a dey obetim ani do anya education Ghana education service na regulate that be ano dey say Ghana education service omo nya na mo regulate nti no okọ private school na say omo gitum sada which means say private schools laws no e supersede Ghana education service and obi anso ni ho a o twa fraction a obekọ akọtwere 100 over 100 over 10. No. Abasa what? Improper fraction. Abasa what? Improper fraction. Fraction. You get me? And you know, say private schools in there also more compulsory by force. Say I was so be making sure say the thing was down. No matter who you are, so you're president, so you're minister, so you're senator, so you're whoever. Also, the umotini got down. Now we do dim ranoso. And I think say a boy because a personal hygiene. ABOT base, you become no one year. Adaji, ye snya diana uti saloon, a honor now. Debbie. Enti mama ye kase akwada no infringing the rights na yesi mate se nkofo akansem bebre me maka chos asemba mega me mpenteme meka bi bitwanya hwehwehwehwe nemu odi ekọ tie mu nsem yi ansama ma ye de ma beka bi enti per explanation me de ma we tire yie ye culture ekan ho right from abrofo no ena omo ye den omo de bae na omo de bae nso no ade a ye den eboaye because na ye itiase sei emboa eba itiase because of ye jama itiafo ni enim de enye ni nti no na itiase sei na abrofo no bae mu se da bi mo se de mutiniti no e wo se mo ye de mu yi na mu de nkun na niema fo aduro fo ase na de bia mutiase da ho na mo ho ye kama ade wi de abrofo no ya ade Unyantine da mega make us a history actual. Go and learn your history. On you can do whatever you want. This is a history. Upon mega me historian it is there. Go and read. What in the metro na say? Inti sebi ebu sebi nyado. Mama yenye de yenji yanka say history entum na make sure say ye de ye bon ban. Enko fine we school now betimi ayo children and no obi ani asem but that within period about 3 years now woko na wako twetwe na busia enko be bia no ane se obey de obedim na so enti asamba ayamunya botare wati ase samba ayamunya botare no obi enjai se na minister na wanya ade no SHS no wanya ade ni Debbie since when ena Ghana Oko square, Oga say primary ni na wa there be anya fine. It's a business. Chirawajo conversation mahanum number one TikTok platform. Yakupon koswa eshra. Bibia me wofa ase balance for mobility o. Asembe bede bi chirawajo yakupon eshra makra bye bye.